Who's hungry? The Deli's open. Hey guys, Marco D'Angelo here. Welcome back to another edition of Marco's Deli, powered by WagerTalk TV. If you enjoy these free videos I do each week, I ask just one favor of you, and that is to hit the thumbs up or give us a comment. Leave us a comment. Both of those things help the channel out, and the channel's been growing, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. We're going to have 4 plays on today's Deli. We're going to have 2 NBA plays and 2 hockey plays for you. We'll break those down, so let's get the show started. Let's head over to hockey to get things started. First, I got 2 series plays for you in the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And we're going to start with Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Now, my Pittsburgh Penguins, they're a flashy team. They score a lot of goals. They've got the big name stars, most notably Sidney Crosby, and they're making a return to the playoffs after a 2-year hiatus. Now, the style of hockey that the Penguins played during the regular season, it's great to watch. They score a lot of goals, but they also give up a lot of goals. That's not the way to win in the postseason. They're going to be playing a Philadelphia Flyer team that played them tough this year. They split the regular season meetings, and you got the cross-state rivalry. But where the big edge is, I feel, in this game is the style of play. You need to be more defensive in the playoffs, and I got to give the edge there to Philadelphia. They've got a huge edge in the goaltending, in my opinion, and I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the difference in this series. So for the first play for this week's Marco's Deli, let's go ahead and take Philadelphia plus $1.30 to win the series. I think they're a live dog here. Take Philadelphia. Sticking with hockey, let's go to another series, and I'm going to go with my new hometown team. We're going to take a look at Utah versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, everybody knows that the Vegas Golden Knights fired their head coach towards the end of the season. There was just 8 games left. And since they fired the coach, what has Vegas done? Well, they've gone 7-0-1. So automatically, everybody thinks the Golden Knights are back, and it was a coaching change that was needed. Yes, I realize firing a coach always sparks a team, and it did. But here's the reality of that 7-0-1 winning streak for Vegas. You got to look at who they played. Over the last 8 games of the season, they played Vancouver twice. Vancouver's the worst team in hockey this year, not even close. Then they played Seattle twice. Seattle didn't make the playoffs this year. Then they played Calgary and Winnipeg. Both of those teams didn't make the playoffs this year. So 6 of those 8 games were against bad teams. Then the 2 games that they played against winning teams, well, they played Colorado. Yeah, that was a big win. Colorado's a good team, except Colorado already had their division locked up when they played last weekend. Not a big, important game for Colorado, and Vegas needed that game. They got the win. The other win they got was over Edmonton. Now, that was a good win. Edmonton finished second in the Pacific with behind Vegas. It was a big game for Vegas, but let's be honest, this Edmonton team didn't play good down the stretch. In fact, they had to win their final game of the season on the last night against Vancouver to secure that second place positioning. They could have dropped to third, or if things went the right way, they could have went all the way down to the wild card had they not beaten Vancouver on the final night of the regular season. So I am not impressed with the winning streak of Vegas. And I will say this much. The team did show spark when they fired the coach. They also showed a spark when they finally made a goalie change. Carter Hart came back from injury, and he's played well. But, again, he's played well against bad teams. Carter Hart's only got a little bit of playoff experience when he was at Philadelphia, and that was several years ago. I'm going to go ahead and take Utah. I think they are a live dog in this series. This is a team that, yes, they relocated from Phoenix to Utah, but there is an excitement around this team making the playoffs in just their second season in Utah. And again, given the way Vegas struggled during the regular season against good teams, they beat up on the bad teams. They struggled against the good teams. Now they're in the playoffs. Let's see what happens, because you're in the playoffs. You're facing all good teams. I think Vegas struggles here. I'll take the big price. I'll take $1 plus 140 with Utah to win the series. All right, we got two more games on the Deli lineup. Before we get to those two NBA games, I want to tell you what's happening with me and my plays over at WagerTalk. As you know, our big plays have been absolutely killing it, guys. Our 5% major wager plays, 45 and 24 over the last 26 months. Our 4% best bets are on a 33 and 19 tear over the last 52. Since February 5th, we are the number one handicapper at WagerTalk in Money One. And if you go back the last 27 months, we're number 2 at WagerTalk, up over 133 units for our clients. It's been a very good run, both short-term and long-term. And we've got a couple offers for you. If you want to come on board, get all of my plays, and you want to do it right now, you got NBA playoffs, you got NHL playoffs. NHL since 2021, number 1 in Money One. NBA since 2020, number 2 in Money One. How about baseball? Well, we've been selective so far, only 11 plays to start the season, but we've won 8 of the 11 plays. If you want to get all of my plays, short term, best deal, buy a 3-day package for $69. We'll throw in 3 bonus days. That gets you 6 days for $69. Less than $10 a day gets you every play I release. And remember, our plays generally sell for $25 on a daily basis for a single play. You're going to get everything for 6 days for $69. You want an even better deal, long-term, save even more? We've got a deal where you can get every single play I release from now through August 31st. That's all the sports I just mentioned, and WNBA will be starting. We're number 1 in the WNBA the last 2 years, and all the specials. Specials. What specials are we talking about? Well, the Triple Crown races. I give you horse racing selections. During the summer, I cover all the big races throughout the summer as well. You'll get every single play I release to my clients from now through August 31st for just $749. That's the best way if you want to go long-term and never miss a play. Head over to WagerTalk.com, check it out, see what we've got going, and you can jump on board and be part of the winning. All right, now speaking of winning, let's get to the NBA. We're going to look at a couple games on Saturday for you in NBA action. And we're going to start things off with Atlanta at New York. Now, this is uncharted water for Atlanta, as they haven't made the playoffs the last few years. Actually, they played in the play-in game the last 2 years, but they lost both times in the play-in game and didn't make it to the playoffs. So that's going to be something new for them this year, getting to the playoffs. On the flip side to that, well, New York's made the playoffs the last few years, and last year made that deep run. The Knicks went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think that experience is going to serve them well in Game 1. Now, instead of taking this for the full game, I'm going to take it a first-half wager, and here's why. Obviously, we cut the point spread down. We can pick up New York at -2.5 for the first half. But I really expect them to get out of the gate quickly. Why? Well, we talked about the difference in experience, okay? Playing on the big stage, Atlanta, they might be a little tight to start this game. But I'll tell you one thing I know from the Knicks. They're going to be focused and ready to go in Game 1. If you remember last year, Game 1 at the Garden, they were hosting the Detroit Pistons, and the Pistons come out and was putting a whooping on them. They were up 20 or 22 points in that game before New York came back with a big fourth quarter rally to win that game. I expect the Knicks to come out with fire in their eyes and take advantage of that experience factor against Atlanta. And I'm going to lay the 2.5 for the first half with the New York Knicks for our first NBA play. And for our fourth and final play for this week's Deli, we're going to take a look at Houston at the Lakers. Now, I'm going to look at the total in this one because obviously the Lakers are shorthanded for game one. The Lakers, without Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, they are going to be up against it to compete with Houston. The only way they can compete with Houston, in my opinion, in this game is they got to slow this game down, turn it into a half-court game, try to be physical and play good defense. They don't have the firepower to go up and down the floor with Houston. And LeBron, he's got to turn it up defensively because he's got to help get the stops in this game. And if you got to carry the load defensively, it's going to take away from some of the offensive production as well from LeBron because he can't go full bore on both sides of the floor. They will try to get some isolation on the offensive end and get the ball in good shooting situations to him. And that will be taking the clock deeper into each possession. With that said, that's going to have me looking at the under. If the Lakers have any chance in game one, which I know they're going to show up to play, they will need to get this game in the 90s. That's the way they got to try to do it. Hold Houston to under 100 points here. So with that said, we're going to take the under in the Houston Laker game, as I feel they're able to get this one under the total. And you see that low total, it's telling you that this game is going to be a low-scoring game. So with that said, we are going under the total tomorrow, looking at right now 207.5 for that total. All right, guys, once again, thanks for hanging out with me here at the Deli. I really do appreciate you guys spending time with me, leaving me comments, giving me that thumbs up. And I do want to hear from you in the comments section. Tell me who you like in the playoffs. Tell me who you think is going to win the East. Tell me who you think is going to win the West. Let's see what everybody has to say. Let me know where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing and hearing where you guys are watching me. And until next week, let's eat good in the Deli and cash some tickets. I'll be back next week with another edition of Marco's Deli. Talk to you then.